For those who don't
Test.
J Squad.
We gotta find now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find.
J Squad.
Now what do we do? That's the first clue.
J Squad. J Squad.
We gotta find. Now what do we do? That's clue. Now what do we do? Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. Now what do we do? That's the first clue. We gotta find the program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue. The program. That's the first clue. We gotta find. That's the first clue. That's the first clue.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Been an interesting night tonight, seeing a lot of things going on. Hope y'all are doing well. I wanted to go ahead and get into this, though. We've got someone to talk about today. Someone who has just launched their first game. We're going to look through some of the things about the game. I've considered buying it and playing it, but I don't know that I could play it on stream. And if I can't play it on stream, I don't want to spend the money on it, frankly. But let's take a look here at the man, the myth, the legend. Let's see if I can get him pulled up. Window. And there he is. There he is. Andy Pants Gaming. The man with the plan. The greatest anti-woker to ever anti-woke. So it looks like he said my game is out today. Go buy it here. PC only. PC Master Race, so I can have a little bit of love for that. Being a PC gamer myself. Let's go ahead though and take a look at the trailer for this game. See if I can make it a little bigger. Boom. There we go. Let's get in there and really take a look at it. Hold on. Go back to the beginning. Inclusive Task Force. Shit. Oh, I shouldn't have kept that on there. What did that say? Act of violence against trans person. I just got this job because I'm a black I don't even know what these blinky lights do. Oh, interesting. So we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, this is game of the year potential. This is probably going to be bigger than what's it called? Grand Theft Auto. It's going to be bigger than Grand Theft Auto 6. But Andy ran into some problems. Is it here? Oh, man. Look at this. For download on Shopify. What happened here? Shopify has banned me. Steam has banned me. Get my game while you can, boys, in his Linktree account. We are under constant attack. Free speech. So this comment right here this is stupid. This is the retardedness of Andy Pants Gaming in full display. Because the man doesn't understand what freedom of speech actually is. He just uses it as a shield to create this narrative that he's under attack. But in actuality, companies where you have freedom of speech, companies have a right to not platform somebody if they don't want to. And I mean, that's probably what happened here. Now, I will say this. If Steam is willing to platform a game like Mercy, why not platform his game? So we'll see. Oh, little spoiler alert there. So yeah, I think there can be a little bit of a double standard there, but I don't know if Steam has changed any of their policies since the Mercy incident. Steam has a habit of reactionary changes, and they do it pretty quietly on their accounts to go into it. So let's get out of there. There we go. We'll bring it back down. Oh, excuse me. Dumb comments as per usual, but I won't go through them. So in the wake of Andy Pants getting his game banned on the platforms he needed to sell it on, he Fandom, one of the great news articles out there, has put out an article to get the news out there about Andy Pants game. And I want to say, like, this picture is fucking awful. Like, look at this up here. Like, it doesn't match with the lighting at all. It's just stamped on there. This is kind of weird, but that just is a global thing. Same thing here. Like, it's like, you see how you can see the wrinkles. Like, this is pretty well done for a gay pride flag on here, because you can see the wrinkles in the uniform. But up here, it's just stamped on DBI. There's no shading differences. It doesn't look like it's rounded. Truly an awful. Yeah, the office word art on the helmets. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm going at. Even the trans symbol right up here, or the LGBTQ plus symbol right there, it's just stamped on. It's very lazily done. Also, you can tell this is probably AI generated. This fucking gun. Like, he's holding it. Less of this gun should be showing. It should be turned so you can see less of this the way he's holding it, but it's not. The AI just drew a gun and then put a handle to it with a guy on there. Like, it's fucking terrible. That site looks like shit. So, and you like, also the art here versus this art here, it was kind of like, I don't know, added on. You figured you'd use something. This is different. So this is made differently. The robot in the back was made differently. The gun that has no trigger. Yeah, the guy's finger is just sitting on top of it. I didn't notice that either. I want to say this doesn't give me a lot of hope for this game. It doesn't look. I mean, it looks like AI slop is what it looks like. And Andy Pants is known for using AI slop in his titles. So I'm guessing, I don't know what program he used, but this just looks awful. So anyway, we're going to come through here and read this together, see what they have to say about Andy Pants. Let's get it a little bit closer in here. Andy Pants Gaming has been a staple of great anti-woke content on YouTube. I don't think Andy Pants is probably the worst example of anti-woke on YouTube. He's finally come out with his own game, only to be hit with Steam ban censoring the content. this is, censoring the content. To the right of the date? What do you mean? Oh, no! So, does that mean Andy Pants paid for this? Come on, Andy. You couldn't even get Fandom Pulse to write an article about you. You had to have them pay? Come on. I mean, I'd have to look at some of their other. Let's see. Hold on. I want to check. Oh, no, thanks. Thank you. Let's check one of their other articles. Yeah, he had to have paid for it because this one right here looks like it was just written by them. So they're having to announce, I guess they have to say when a article is paid for. So Andy Pants couldn't get them to write an article. He had to do, and you'll see that I kind of skimmed the article. It's very, very small. So sorry, bud. Ooh, we got comments. We'll read those too. So obviously using censoring. They're always going to use censoring when a company can choose not to use them. The infamous hashtag ad. Yes. Oh, man. That is so funny. While Andy Pants Gaming only makes a video or two every month, he does excellent deep... We're going to watch an Andy Pants video. He does not do excellent deep dives. He mostly just spouts the word gay over and over and over again. While Andy Pants Gaming only makes videos every 2 or 3 months, he does excellent deep dives into the woke content in video games, exposing rabbit holes of ridiculousness that most channels only scratch the surface of. He's garnered more than 200,000 subscribers. This is true, though. We're gonna take a look at his channel a little bit later. And has been working on a video game for the last several months. So I mean, this pretty much says that it's AI generated, because several months of working on a game, I don't think he has that kind of technical know-how to create this game. Andy Pants trying to not say gay, black, or disabled every sentence. Here in this picture I want to get to. On Friday, he launched his game, Chad versus the Gay Nazis, on his own storefront, where the page has hilarious graphics in a parody world of extreme leftists where one man stands against it. The first description of the game says, "This game has been banned on Steam." Like, you paid for this, Andy? It's 3 paragraphs of nothing. Now, I've tried to look for this. I would like to see this entire picture, because this is his messaging back. So you can see here, a review of your store presence has identified 1 or more issues. Please read the following instructions. Thank you for submitting your build and review. Your store page review will be on hold until we can fully review your app and its contents. We will inform you when your app passes the build review. At that point, you will be able to submit your store page from review again. Thank you for your patience. Feel free to contact us if you have, and then it cuts it off. And I think it cuts it off for this side right here. So it's your review build has identified 1 or more issues. Please read and follow these instructions. Thank you for your patience during this additional review. Your app cannot be approved in its current state. Your app and or store page appears to, and then it goes from there. So I don't know what the rest of this says. Andy Pants is trying to spout it off like it's some kind of censorship. They don't like his game because leftist, gay, Nazi, black, trans people don't like his game, right? So, but my guess, your app and or store page appears to, if this said something about bigotry, he would have showed it. If they would have said something like, we cannot put in your game because it has hate speech or any of those things, he would have showed it. Probably has his IRL name signed in. Possibly. I almost think though that the App Store, there's something wrong with the app, and we'll get to the reviews, but some of the reviews say that there's a lot of game-breaking bugs. So, and I know Steam can be pretty harsh on some of the things. So I don't know that it's a game-breaking bugs or anything like that, because I've seen some pretty terrible games on Steam. Oh, that's a good point. Imagine he failed to disclose AI usage. That could be it too. But since we can't see why, I guarantee you it's not because his game is right wing, whatever. I mean, like I said, Mercy was on there, and that game was by all means like a game that celebrated violence and sexual assault, right? So if you're telling me that game can get on there, then any game like this could get on there. You know what I mean? So we had that. Let's go back up here. Here's one of his. Hey, you know what? To get to know Andy Pants a little bit, let's watch one of his videos.
Portion known as Reddit.
Oh Jesus! Already, like he doesn't even do like a little fade-in intro or something. My fair and balanced news source, Reddit. AI slop photo, various Redditor style photos. So let's listen to this video before we move on to looking at his games page, just to get the idea of what you're looking at when it comes to Andy Pants.
Hey guys, so I was on the leftist abortion known as Reddit recently and was told some of my favorite side characters in games aren't in.
Is Reddit that leftist? Maybe so. I mean, I've seen some things on there. There's a handful of SA glorified type games on Steam. Yeah, there definitely are. I mean, I'm a prude, so in my opinion, Steam should remove all of the sexual games, and they can be on their own websites. There are websites for that. But that's just my personal view. Chat is broken, by the way. Did you see all of that scatter that just happened? Let me see. Where is it broke on? Oh, I see. I see. I think I know what's happening. Okay. Oh, it's in front of me too. I wanted to test this out, so thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, that's what it is. Okay, let's close this down. Put it behind the wiggler. Yeah. Whoops. New streamer. Who dis? The white page isn't helping, but hopefully with this, it shows up a little bit more. I gotta get. Boom. We'll put you there. We'll put you there. Grab this. Boop. There we go. There we go. There you guys are. I got to redo this chat anyway. So thank you for pointing that out. I wasn't looking. I look like an old man that I am. All right. Let's also shrink this down. There we go. Open that up. One day I'll get this right, but today is not the day.
Inclusive enough.
Thank you, Kimoji.
Sent me into a shame spiral where I pondered what a white colonizer I am. Like, guys, did you know Lamar Davis from
All right, so we've got colonizer, white colonizer specifically. Then hold on, we'll
Hey guys,
see.
so I was on the leftist abortion known as Reddit recently and was told some of my favorite side characters in
So leftists
games aren't inclusive enough, and this
inclusive. We got 2 black, 2 Mexican, 2 robot-y, 2 white. Okay.
thought sent me into a shame spiral where I pondered what a white colonizer I am. Like, guys, did you know Lamar Davis from GTA is not the right kind of black person?
Hold on. Who said that?
This thought sent me into a shame spiral where I pondered what a white colonizer I am. Like, guys, did you know
Has anyone ever said that? I don't know that I've ever heard that be said about him.
Lamar Davis from GTA is not the right kind of...
Yeah, I mean, this is just complete absolute bullshit. Bullshit. The voices on in his head. Yeah, I mean, I've never even seen anybody talk about what GTA was this? 4? 5? I mean, or no, it was San Andreas. GTA San Andreas. I've never seen anyone talk about that. That one's always, isn't that one like the most popular of the GTAs? Or one of the most popular of the GTAs? I think 5 beat it out, but this is
black person.
real deep dive so far.
Majima from Yakuza.
Problematic and misogynist. Leftist Asians aren't diverse. They are white adjacent now. He put up a book here, White Fragility, Why It's So Hard for White People to Talk About Racism, by Robin. He also doesn't like show where this website's from. Nazmia Barton, PhD, Proximity to Whiteness, Anti-Blackness, People of Color, and the Struggle for Solidarity. I mean, okay, yes, there's fucking these, some of these lefty retards that'll make these out-of-pocket articles about white people and reverse racism, and like that does exist, but it's not very prominent. Like there was a prominence in the gaming industry around the time of Gamergate with those kind of hyperbolic articles that were being put out for hate clicks. But as for now, not really.
Is a toxic misogynist. BT from Titanfall 2 has internalized homophobia.
Can you show me where that was said, Andy? I've never heard that too. The Titanfall is also one of the greatest, like, people loved it. They're begging for Titanfall 3, even though it looks like it's already been canceled. So where's that being said?
Solaire of Astoria looks like he fought in the Crusades. But y'all, here's the really cool part. Game developers in 2025 at the low price of...
He edited that video or picture. Hold on.
But y'all, here's the really...
That is not down here in the bottom left. That's not what the picture was, right? We call on you. This is yeah, the images, like that's all he ever posts is this kind of stuff. It's really like, I'm a terrible editor. I need to get monetized so I can start paying someone to like edit down my videos, my live streams. But this is awful. And this was a female, right? I don't remember there being a black character. So this is what, AI edit? And I hate to tell people, but like the movement that is the age bender movement doesn't have prominence in the gay communities. Not that I'm, I know a ton of things, but I remember reading about a situation where one of the map groups was trying to get in on a gay pride event, and they were basically laughed out or kicked out for their views.
Really cool part. Game developers in 2025 at the low price of $100 per game have promised to level...
Andy, you moved, you're not, okay.
In 2025 at the low...
Okay, there is hope that GTA 6 will cost as much as $100, says analyst. Video game news posted by Jordan Miller. Like, where is this site from? Let's look. Jordan Miller. Oh, really? I have this problem with one of my screens wanting to go black sometimes. There we go. It just never it comes back though. It doesn't go black and never come back. Jordan Middler. Blue Sky already a Nintendo Life. Looks like he writes for Nintendo Life. Hosted by, okay. I know we're deep diving into this. Jordan Middler, Hope games cost $100. Boom, boom, boom. Video Games Chronicles. There's hope that GTA 6 will cost as much as $100, says analysts. Matthew Ball of Amphileon has released. All right. We'll look at this a little bit, kind of skim it. Oh, hold on. Boop. Boom. There we go. One large of the reports focuses on Grand Theft Auto 6 will doubtlessly be the biggest game of the year. According to the report, there is hope, quote unquote, within the video game industry that publisher Take-Two will use the unprecedented excitement in the games to make it $100. It is believed that Take-Two took this step with GTA 6, a game that will sell incredibly well. GTA publisher Take-Two was one of the first to raise the prices to 60 to 70. Gaming budgets have exploded recently. In order to offset this game makers have begun offering incentives that they can produce without the extra cost. So this guy isn't saying it. Video games analyst. A video game analyst. What analyst? Oh, this one. Has released a video, State of the Video Games. Yeah, we're not watching that all right now. I'll watch that later. But I don't think it says what he thinks it is. Yeah, this is a this is a presentation that this analyst is probably using to go around a game. So yes, he's going to talk in the state that this game is that game prices are going to go up because that's what people want. That's what gaming companies want. So this is completely taken out of context. Spoiler alert. There is hope that GTA 6. Okay, we're there. We're back on it. We're back.
Price of $100 per game have promised to level up all of our old beloved.
We will fix them. PlayStation Studios. Activision? Is Activision made any woke games? I mean, I had someone try and tell me that Nicki Minaj being in the game was woke. And I told them they were a retard. But I mean, they just did all Activision has done is add in all of the sponsorship people that have made the game a complete fucking mess.
Beloved bigoted side characters and replace them with new inclusive ones. And their solution is to simply replace all side characters with
I'm sorry. She's going to be playing in everything, bud.
Wilson now. What's better than a hilarious, loyal robot who accompanies you the whole game? Oh, how about an angry, unattractive black girl boss who tells you what a white...
But okay, Andy. Come on, Andy. They didn't put her in Titanfall 3. You're just making an arbitrary statement.
Land stealer you are.
Hey, Englishman. I'm gonna need a new home for my people. Power outlets, radio room access, and a can. You got it?
Please.
Say what?
Please. You ask for something, you say please, and don't fucking call me Englishman.
Okay, you wanna...
Okay, so what is he trying to show here? That guy was getting cucked by the black chick? Because it looked like he stood up to her.
Step to me, motherfucker, you wanna get shit done. Because I'm game either way. All right, listen up, brothers and sisters.
Wow, you gonna clip away from it like that, Andy? Come on now.
The touchy Englishman is...
I think the Swedish men have a weird fetish for bossy black women. So, all right, why didn't you show the rest of that clip? What does he say after that, Andy? I think you know that it doesn't look as bad as it looks, so you clipped it.
Is gonna show you where to set up shop.
By the way, is there a more cucked game studio than
Sweden is 99% pedos. Dice. This is just fucking. Look, there's even a promo for Jamcast. Except for my homie Duke, of course. I guess he's Swedish.
machine games? You know every dude there wears a dress and worships the devil. Or how about in
Missions with Frank Woods.
Call of Duty, instead of another mission with Frank Woods, you get more scenes with Deborah Wilson.
Was she in Call of Duty? Is this a picture of her in Call of Duty? God, I'm gonna have. Deborah Wilson, Call of Duty. So I'm guessing she's in there. Okay. She was in Lions in Call of Duty. Okay, she was in it, but what's the video of this? Let's see. Is the YouTube? I know, I'm clipping it through. Yeah, she is one of the CODs. Is it just like a skin, or is she got God, this woman makes it into everything. COD.
This operation is now compartmentalized.
What the hell does that mean?
Means you no longer have clearance, Colonel.
Those are my Marines. We need a QRF in there right now.
That's not advisable.
And that is not your call.
Colonel, Laswell.
General, my men...
Norris, give us a minute.
Yes, ma'am.
We've got a situation. The Kremlin has suspended all deconfliction channels. The Sixth Fleet is pushing into the Black Sea, and chemical weapons are now in the wild. Your fingerprints are all over this, Laswell. Fix it.
General, right now intelligence is our best weapon.
We've tried intelligence.
I mean, I'll give him that. It's a little. It feels. It's a character in the story. Yeah, I mean, I definitely can see where you can get the woke thing out. It feels like all the Call of Duty characters were replaced by women. I don't know the full story of Call of Duty, so I couldn't make an assessment on that. But Andy Pants seems to care about it. Oh, I keep doing that. There we go. So, all right. Sure, maybe. I don't know that I would call it hateful bigot by what being called a hate. When did he call him a hateful bigot in that scene, though? Is there a scene where she calls someone a hateful bigot? She just pulled rank on him. Hey, hate to tell you, there are women in the military who will pull rank on you, just like other people will pull rank.
calling you a hateful bigot?
Is she a lesbian?
Yes. I'm
To this dude,
sure you guys saw her in Jedi Fallen Order. I like to imagine the pitch meeting at EA. All right, boys, who's a really fun?
I mean, I think she did pretty good in Fallen Order. I didn't have a problem with her in that. How do we monetize child slavery?
Fun side character that Cal Kestis can have. Yoda, Boba Fett. Ooh, yeah. Sorry, folks. Best we can do is Deborah Wilson. Meanwhile, Activision is scratching their head.
Oh. Was Boba Fett still around? Man.
Wondering why video game spending has driven off a cliff the past year. This isn't the only reason, but it's a big reason. You guys fucking replaced all the good characters with dog shit characters. Instead of another Frank Woods or Barry Wheeler or Cesar Valpindo, they gave us Deborah Wilson. Instead of edgy, funny companions, they make you feel like you're in a meeting with HR. Did you know that Xbox within the last few years is either planning to release or has released 6 games with a...
Come on. I haven't played State of Decay 3, but South of Midnight is not woke. It's just got a black protagonist. Redfall was not woke. It was just absolute shit. Flintlock, I don't know about, and I don't even know what Clockwork Revolution is. So,
A black girl boss as the main character.
you notice he had to pick all of these games. None of these games are AAA. They're all in like the AA scene, right? Like State of Decay, I think is made by a AAA company, but there were black characters in the second one. So I don't know what he's getting at here.
These companies hate men, and they hate white men in particular.
There were white men in that picture. Why didn't they kill him?
Character. These companies hate.
There's a white guy. 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 That guy's not white. He's Asian. But Asians are the white minority too. There's a white guy.
Hate men, and they hate white men in particular. Microsoft is one of the most racist companies on earth, and we'll get into that more later.
Okay. Approachable. I am welcome. Designed for safety and trust. Create entryways for new users. Help customer feel seen. Co-create with communities. Globalization. I feel at home. Designed for a global customer. Engage local markets. 7, accessibility. Make products accessible by design from day one. Share inclusive features in product and marketing. I mean, this does probably link to some form of DEI in the length of things, but it's more like the globalization part is making the game so that they can sell it across the world. That's all it is. Let's see here. Leverage inclusive listening systems. That's DEI. Share inclusive features. This could be DEI. Features in product and marketing, but inclusive features can mean a lot of things. Create custom and personalized experiences. Universal actions across all doorways. Okay.
So in this video, I want to explore some of the most egregious examples of black lesbian girl boss insertion in video games. Then I want to talk about how we ended up here, and then I want to talk about a solution. Guys, I also wanted to mention that Steam has now banned my video game from their store. They decided that Chad versus the Gay Nazis is simply too edgy for their storefront, and so for now, I'm selling the game on...
You're so full of shit. I think personally that there's something wrong with your game besides the symbols and stuff like that. You would have absolutely 100% shown that that's why they did it. But instead, all I've seen is a clip. Hazel is definitely not a girl boss. You're right. You're right. I've played through that game. There's problems with that game. I will admit. I know why it didn't sell well. It has to do with the combat. But she doesn't even classify anywhere near a girl boss.
Shopify, you can click the link down below.
You can't buy it on Shopify anymore, bud.
To buy it and download it right now and support this movement. Guys, this game calls out the LGBTQ satanic pedophile crowd directly, and so of course they're going to do everything they can to try to get my game canceled.
You're so full of shit, Andy. Like you're such a weak little bitch. Oh, I wonder if it's stuff like this. What Inshallah children kill white Christians. Like the flag is probably okay, but putting this incredibly close to Disney might break some kind of TOS. Wisney, how deep is he? And then of course, you know, this isn't even good like characters design for boss. Like look at the difference here. Look at the art style here compared to the face. Like even from this art style to this art style is different. And then what's going on with her fucking fingers? That can't be motion blur. I don't know. This is, I mean, you can clearly tell this is AI. Like this is different than this, which is different than this, which is different than this, which is different than this.
It's definitely the edgiest video game you will ever play. It takes about 2 hours to beat. It's kind of
2 hours for $10? Holy shit.
a top-down 2D action shooter, but it's also really a story more than anything else. For now, it's only available on Windows PCs. I hope to bring it to other platforms soon, but it's like 800 megabytes big and it will run on absolutely any old PC. All right, back to the video. So the first thing people
Look at that shooting. Holy fuck, that looked bad.
All right, back to the video. So the first thing people
Do you see how it like turns for a half a second so you can't point down?
when I bring this up is, Andy, why are you so racist? Why do you hate black women? My brother in Christ, are you blind? Can you not see the anti-white racism when 30 of the last 50 video games have a black girl boss?
Okay, that's not you're not answering the question. You're skimming the question by saying, they hate white people. Like they want to rag on Dustborn, but like arguably his circle should be mad he made this. That's not answering if you're racist or not, Andy. That's just saying that I get to be racist because they're racist at me. And that's just not how it works. That's a very surface level approach to racism.
As the main character, I'm not racist. I don't need every character in a game to be white, but I can also recognize a ridiculous pattern when I
6 games. A pattern, like 6 games with black people out of how many games since Redfall released? Like, because I think Redfall is the oldest, right? Redfall is the oldest. It didn't just have black characters. And I'm pretty sure the marketing wasn't only the black character. I'll bet that this one, has more characters than just the black woman. Yes, this one's based on a black woman, but a lot of the setting is about the South and black slave heritage and folklore in the South. Like, they can't make a game like that without it being called a girl boss. Andy, this can't be the only 6 examples.
see it.
He's probably going to bring up more, though.
Guys, I grew up in the 80s and 90s. We loved The Cosby Show and Family Matters. We loved Blade and Eddie Murphy and Chris Tucker. What actually happened is the LGBTQ movement, guided by the noses, showed up and they decided digging up racism and acting like it's still a problem was their best ticket to ride to regain societal.
But they failed at that. Like that, sure, there was a group of people that were trying to go back to all the old stuff and hate on everything that was old, but it didn't work. And I don't think they ever brought up Family Matters or Space Jam. I mean, like Blade, none of these you can argue that Dave Chappelle was attacked by the leftist for his trans jokes. I don't have a problem with the way he told his jokes, and I'm a firm believer in everyone is up for comedy, right? So, but that's like the only case. None of these other examples are examples of what happened during that time. Yeah, the behavior, you're right, Grizzle, the behavior ended a long time ago. Like it was stomped out pretty quick. It didn't last very long. Like white girls. So there is a funny thing I was finding out more about shows like White Girls from back in the day, 2020-ish. Yeah, there was still a pop in 2020, but into 2021 after the pandemic ended and all that other stuff, it really slowed down. And you're seeing like very few remnants of those groups coming out, to the point that you have to have someone like Kirsha pretend she's getting canceled because it doesn't exist anymore. In fact, we have seen cases where the right is starting to do this cancel culture shit, going after like random's jobs for a tweet on X or something like that. Oh, because people got super tired of the ultra libs. Yeah, 100%. You saw that with the election too. Like no one they focused so hard on the far left progressive movements that they lost everyone to the right of those movements. Yeah, Grums is the king of this. Asman arguably too. Yeah, I mean they're so surface level and retarded. I don't even bother covering them because at the end of the day, it's just the same stuff over and over again, right? They don't say anything new.
Control. Let's look at some of Xbox's huge AAA games they're spending billions of dollars making right now. South of Midnight.
Is it only 4 online now? They didn't spend. How much did South of Midnight cost to make? South of Midnight, refreshing frills. The AI says yes. I'm not 100% sure of that. Shortly after April 8th, they had 1 million players. That's not bad for the small company that it is. Clockwork Revolution isn't even out yet. No, Andy, no. I can't get a cost to make, but I doubt that it was billions of dollars or, I could say it's probably a little over 100 million, but it may be even under 100 million to make that game, right? They're not like it definitely cost more. I remember the company originally had 8 people, they moved up to like 30 or something like that. So this isn't a heavily costed game. So already we're full of shit.
State of Decay 3.
Oh, Steam DB. Let's go. Steam DB South of Midnight. Let's see how they're doing. It has 186 in game right now. So again, another lie, Andy. Its peak was 206. Sorry, Andy. You're a fucking liar again.
Flintlock Siege of Dawn.
Oh God, you're gonna make me keep doing this, aren't you? Flintlock. Siege of Dawn. Steam. DB. Oh, come on now. This one arguably is, I mean, he's full of shit. Still, let's see what its peak was. 29 playing. 67. This game obviously didn't do good, but I doubt it's for the reasons Andy says it is. If I remember right, it was Flintlocks from 2021, is it? I thought it was newer than that. Because I never saw in-game examples of it being bad. Flintlock really wouldn't mind seeing you play. I mean, I'll go through it because I know there were some, it didn't get very good reviews. It wasn't done very well. So maybe we'll do a Finding the Woke on Flintlock, since Andy has told us that it's gay and woke. What else we got? What was this one called? Know the Gunk. Oh, the Gunk. Oh, the Gunk you said I should play? I could try that. The Gunk. Steam. DB. Is it even on Steam? Huh? Yeah, you're confusing me, Grizzle, but it's okay. I'm an old man. I'm easily confused. So the Gunk isn't showing up. Is the Gunk on Steam? The Gunk. Plat game. I don't think it's on. Okay, it is on Steam. I mean, he's got very positive reviews. It's not coming up on Steam DB. Let's go back here, search the gunk. Oh, there it is. There it is. There it is. Now, this one's a little closer. It says it's got 5 in game. When did it come out? 2020. Release date was 2022. Why would this small game made by a tiny company called Thunderful, the developer was Images and Forms Games. Like, what else have they made? They're not a fucking big company. Andy Pants is pulling this shit out of his ass. This isn't a big company. Yeah, they're not getting a lot of numbers. They peaked at 200. This isn't a AAA game. I think Andy is racist. So I am always very skeptical to call people racist. I genuinely, because I've done edgy jokes in the past. I've told racist jokes in the past, if you want to get honest with it, in my younger years. But Andy, you can't. I mean, it's that thing where you do it so much that what else are we supposed to call you, right? So this is all right. This one's dishonest and a lie. It's more than 4 online. This one's dishonest and a lie. There's more. I mean, it's closer. This one was from 2022 from a small indie company. Who is their publisher? Is Thundering Publishing. That's never like Osh lists. Thunder Publishing has only made very small games. This is a publishing. Thunder Publishing. Thunderful Games, is that what it's called? Am I just losing my mind? Thunderful Publishing. That's what it's called. Oh, here's their homepage. Exit. Doom is DEI free. Thanks, Deborah Wilson. Okay, so yeah, this is an indie publisher. Like these aren't big games. I've seen this is the not the publisher, this is the publisher, not the devs. But these are all indie titles that they publish. They're not a big AAA company. Studios. I mean, maybe they are under some other thing, but the gunk. So, I mean, they have multiple studios. Oh man, look at all that diversity and racism. Because Zoe Quinn is a narrative designer. She's still around. She's in the background, I think. So come on, Andy. You can do better than this. This isn't the deep dive you thought it was. Let's see what else he's got.
Gunk, Clockwork Revolution, and Redfall.
Oh, I noticed how he didn't put State of Decay 3 isn't out either, is it? Let's see. I'm pulling it up on Steam. Fuck that shit. Fuck that shit. So 2 of these games aren't out. He's lied about the player count for South of Midnight. It's actually still doing fairly decent numbers for a single player game. The Gunk is a like smaller indie company. Let's see. So far we've got maybe one you could argue he's good with. State of Decay 3. Okay. So he's picked this out, right? From the trailer. Fuck it, we're gonna watch the trailer too. Their marketing, though, is this. Like a plain black State of Decay 3. Now this one's done by it's published by Xbox Studios. So this is, I would call State of Decay a AAA company. Let's see the showcase trailer.
Who are you?
Why can't you? Oh, hold on. You can't see it because I didn't add it properly in. Oh, that's because it's Steam. Can I copy page URL? Boom. There we go. Why can't I hear it? Give me sound. See, we're doing a little gaming too.
Who did you love? What did you believe?
Is he black? Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was going to be black.
It's too
You're rooting for this game, not going to lie. I liked the... I didn't play State of Decay 1. I played 2, I think. And I enjoyed it. It was a fun game to play, especially with friends. Is black Asian? Asian.
greater than the fear and death that surrounded us. We found hope in each other.
Oh, there it is. Black girl boss.
They're everywhere. There's way more than
Black lesbian girl boss. I'm sorry.
And even if we bought the other survivors just one more day, the sacrifice would be worth it. It would always be worth it.
Women can't use... It's well known that women can't use shotguns. Andy is seething. What do you mean?
And that helped us find the courage to keep going. To fight on. When we needed it the most.
No! They killed the white guy. Obviously, they hate white people. That's why they did that. Car full of lesbians.
Your memory alive.
Oh, white guy, no! Oh man, another white guy? And of course, he's chauffeuring around the black lady because, you know, driving Miss Daisy. This seems sentimental for the white guy. And they added a new white guy.
No one is forgotten. We live on.
And look, they just went for like black advertising for the game. There's no... Andy is such a fucking retard. There it is. Go wishlist it. Let's see if it'll let me wishlist it. Now I gotta log in. Fuck that. I'll wishlist it later. I might already have it wishlisted. I'm sure that it's this trailer, but like nothing in that first trailer shows that it's woke. Pride flag. He probably saw the pride flag in the memorial. Something like that. Let's keep going, Andy.
What about Sony? Fair Games, Forspoken,
Sony puts out a lot of shit, right?
Deathloop,
I don't know what Fair Games is.
Legacy. Concord had 3 black female main characters in it, by the way.
So is 3 the number that's too many, Andy? Three is too many black people, Andy.
Even getting into the deletion and humiliation of men from games like Suicide Squad to
I count 3 men in Suicide Squad right there.
Shadows. 20 years ago, game companies like Xbox and Sony were throwing billions of dollars at based masculine games. This is how we got Uncharted, Metal Gear, God of War, the GTA games, Gears of War, Halo.
But you said
That's
Oh, well, I
what
guess they argue.
throwing money at now. Gay, black, girl boss games that nobody wanted.
You can't even compare the budgets to those, though. This is just a small game on the side for Game Pass and for other stuff like that, Andy. Come on. You can't even, like, you have to be a fucking tourist to say this. You're not, and I also noticed, like, you're not poking at a lot of the big AAA games. You're poking at these low-hanging fruits that that your group isn't going to play, right? Your little group of people is not going to play these games, so they're not going to know any difference. You're going to say black person, they're going to see a black person and then assume, right?
And nobody asked for. South of Midnight cost $30 million to make.
Where is that? And 30 million? That's fucking nothing for a game. Are you kidding, Andy? 30 million is not shit. State. So I'm not even like, that's fucking pennies for some of these games that are made out here. I usually think it's a cheap game when they only spend like 100 million on it. So you've already proven yourself wrong, like that they're spending tons of money on these games. 30 million only sounds that way to you because you're a fucking poor, dirty little trailer trash who doesn't know anything about fucking games.
In this folktale from modern times, Hazel will need to reconcile the weight of family.
It's not voodoo. I thought it was voodoo. This folktale from modern times. What was modern about it? It was just a story about Hazel in a fantastical world. Or, well, it's like a mix between a fantastical world and her world. You have no idea what the game was about. I guarantee you didn't play it. But don't pretend you know what this game is about.
History and legacy against her own identity. Oh, sick. A $30 million sermon about racism.
There was no talk about racism, you fucking retard.
This game is going to be about as fun as a pinecone enema. And yep, there's the old racist white woman and main bad guy right on.
She wasn't racist. She was evil, but they tried to make it in a, how do I put it? Like she was doing evil things to try and bring back her child, right? She was flawed and sad. That was kind of the message they were trying to leave behind with it. That's a good way to do it.
This game, which was,
and she ended up in hell, right?
People, is about as authentically Southern.
Relatable villain trope. Yeah, I mean, you could see it's not an uncommon, or it's not a never before. It's like not a new concept, right? Mother or father do evil things to bring back their child. There was a horror movie I was watching the other day that was really good, and it was two old people conjuring a devil to bring back their son or their grandson, right? She's kind of irredeemable. Well, yeah, she never accepts what she was doing as wrong, fully. And
as Michael Scott in The Office being like, there has been a murder. So I actually.
All right, listen here, you fucking Yankoid. Where are you from, Andy? You ain't never heard a Southern person before? You wouldn't last a fucking day with some of the fucking rednecks I've hung out with around here. They'd fucking clobber your ass here into the sun. I'm sorry a Southern accent bothers you. Fucking retard.
Played a few hours of this game just for content, and this is not a joke. The evil creatures in the game are called haints. A haint in black folklore is a ghost, and the KKK, of course, dressed up in sheets to look like ghosts and were sometimes called haints.
They never bring that up. They never once bring that fucking up, bud. The KKK is never even brought into the existence of the game. So you're drawing lines to nothing. You see that. So he even says in the first statement that it's ghosts and folklore, and that the KKK are the ones that used it to scare off black people, right? That's what it was. They used folklore of those people to scare them off.
So you are essentially fighting the Ku Klux Klan in this game. a bit.
Never once do you fight anyone close to racism. You fucking retard. The white lady, see, I don't even believe he played any of this game because you figure out who the white lady is in the very beginning. It's her freaking grandmother. So her son married a black woman. You would think that there was something more to that, right? That she wouldn't even, if she was racist, she would have disowned him so badly that that fucking Hazel wouldn't even be able to go around. Yeah, it's about manifestation. It has more to do with like was like loss and bad choices and different things like that. So this dude has no idea what he's talking about. A bit on the nose. Andy, you couldn't smell a fucking black lesbian if she had her fucking pussy in your face.
Bit on the nose, huh? It gets worse. The creatures you encountered are captured by negative emotions called knots, and you have to free them from these, i.e., you have to free people from their races.
Jesus fucking Christ, Indy. Or not Indy. Fucking Andy. Knots. The whole fucking game is based around fucking knitting and strings and cotton and all of these things that were part of the culture of black slaves from the time. Yes, black slavery is in the game as a very minor like point, but it does fit into the folklore. Like, you're not freeing black people, you're getting rid of the knots that are in these people's lives, right? That have been knotted up and are causing problems. You're probably one of the dumbest individuals I think I've ever met in my life.
So, again, this is not a joke. This is in the game.
It's not a joke because you actually believe it, because you're so fucking brain broken and retarded that you couldn't. I see why he never went anywhere with his Xbox takes, right? He never went anywhere with his Xbox takes because he doesn't have a fucking brain between his skull to figure out what the concepts of the story are.
Over the course of the game, you find out that this racist old white lady is your grandmother, and that your mom was black, and your dad, white lady's son, is white. And of course, old racist white lady is not okay with having a black granddaughter. Wow, wow.
Another fucking lie.
Later in the game, old white lady throws you off a cliff and kills you, and who would come to resurrect you except the literal personification of Satan? I'm not even joking, guys. If you don't see that Microsoft at bottom is just a gay...
Are you telling me a game can't have an evil? Yeah, like, I wouldn't even call him the personification of Satan. He's the personification of, what was the guy's name? Yeah, not what happened. He has no idea what. He even said he didn't play the full game. This picture, yeah, that's something. Andy, come on, really? You're one of these people? You're one of these guys, huh? Don't have a cell phone because you believe that they fucking cause cancer or whatever else. What's with the witch? Like, that's weird, I guess. Jesus Christ, Andy. You have no idea. Like, I can see why you never made it.
And satanic.
Without calling people black and gay.
I'm not sure how else to help you see it. So all the white people in the game are evil, and Hazel...
Not even close.
...is brought back to life by the occult and Satan himself. The really baffling thing to me about South of Midnight is how they completely left out, I don't know, church or something.
Church is in the fucking game, you retard. There's a whole fucking storyline about church. I don't believe you're a Christian, Andy. You're not a real fucking Christian. You're a fake fucking Christian who hides behind the thoughts of Christianity so you can be a gay little fucker making fun of black people and gay people and trans and whatever you want to fucking be. You are a closet gay trying to hide behind Christianity.
The version of the South these evil Canadians imagine is
she is white too.
Voodoo Mama Juju South, but in reality, the church was and always has been the center of public life in Southern culture.
Oh, fucking Andy, the game is not directly based on those Southern things, though they do show up in the game in a positive fucking light. If you had played more than 5 minutes, which I don't even believe you played that because you got everything fucking wrong. You probably watched a few clips of something because so far I haven't seen you show any real gameplay that wasn't probably something you clipped. But before when they were slaves, there was a lot of superstition. Go down to fucking Louisiana, where this game is clearly based off of, and voodoo and other parts of those superstition and religions play a major role. You know nothing about the South, so don't talk about my fucking people and my fucking country when you have no idea what the fuck it's talking about. Yes, we are the Bible Belt, but there is so much deeper than any of that.
Whether you are white or black, Jesus is at the center. And I know this because I live in the South and I've been here my whole life.
You're full of shit. You're not a Southerner. You don't fucking sound like a fucking Southerner. You don't talk like a fucking Southerner. What's South? What is South for you? Do you live down in Alabama? Because you don't sound like you live in Alabama. I agree there are racist people. Like racism is more prominent in the South. So maybe that's where you get it from. But you have no idea about Southern culture outside of maybe the little community you live in.
But this cucked Canadian developer can't make a game about that, of course, so they have to make it about pagan traditions brought over from Africa, which were in reality pretty much completely rejected by Southern black people, but they like to...
They weren't fucking... They were prominent, and then after, more release of slaves and things like that, I'm going to have to read more of the history on it. I don't want to misspeak, but it wasn't. Like, voodoo is still very much practiced today in the United States and in places like Louisiana. Voodoo even has some Christian fucking ideals, if I remember right. It's more prominent in Haiti, where it's not called voodoo, it's called voodoo or something like that, juju. I can't remember exactly. So the Haitians had a big portion of it, but it wasn't rejected. Christianity was eventually taken over, and they took a lot of the traditions from their African traditions and added it into the Christian beliefs.
Ignore that. I also remember as I was playing the game, there were these like flashbacks about Harriet Tubman or somebody freeing the slaves. It's like, guys, this is not a fun game. Racism is the least fun topic.
What about Harriet Tubman as racist? I'm starting to believe you're from some of the more retarded parts of the South, because you have to have learned about Southern heritage in school. Harriet Tubman is not a thing about racism. It's about, they were slaves, so there's racism cooked into it, but it's a story of her freeing slaves and changing slavery as a whole, right?
You could put in a video game. This is about as fun as a pinecone enema yet again. So was South of Midnight a success?
I'm pretty sure you take quite a few pinecone enemas. You do talk about your ass a lot, Andy. If you ever want to come on, Andy, and talk about your homoerotic tendencies, it's open, bud. I can be a little racist, and I'm definitely not gay, but we can have a talk about it. We can bring you forward to realizing your homosexual urges.
Success? Of course not. Microsoft thinks if they double down on hating men, it's going to go well for them, and this is not the case. The game, despite being critically acclaimed by leftist outlets, has 92 people playing it online right now.
That's different than what you said. That's not you. How are you going to say 90 people and then show a picture with 150?
It had a peak of 1,400 people playing it at launch. Microsoft dumped $40 million into this piece of trash. Guys, I want you to think about this. In 2017, Microsoft canceled this game Scalebound. It was going to be a dope, masculine, badass AAA game.
You have no idea that that's what that was going to be. He did. He added another 10 mil to it, right? He can't even stay consistent in his own fucking videos. Twink? Is that a twink? I don't know. Maybe. But this game looks like shit, right? And it was supposed to be coming out when? Like, the graphics at least look like shit.
About this. In 2017, Microsoft canceled this game Scalebound. It was going to be a dope, masculine, badass triple.
Yeah, I don't remember this getting, yeah, it's old. So yeah, it fits in with the graphics, but
AAA game about dragons. And they canceled it so that they could make Game Pass slop like this. And
I mean, some of that I can argue is Game Pass slop. The gunk isn't made or owned by Microsoft, though, so you're wrong there. South of Midnight, yes, is owned. Game Pass was way later. Yeah. When did Game Pass come out? Hold on. Now I gotta do. I forget that it hasn't been very long that Game Pass. When was Game Pass launched? Yeah, Dev Hell. That's usually what happens with these kind of games. It came out June 1st, 2017. So this was canceled before, or it might have been canceled just after Game Pass. So I guess he's trying to link it there, maybe, but that's not. Huh? Game. Let me double check that. Yeah, 2017, June 1st. Bum, bum, bum. Don't question me. Okay, get this. What you got for me, Grizzle? This art/trailer, the guy you talking about, the Scalebound one, was announced in 2014. What the fuck? So yeah, it was 3 years. If they canceled it after 3 years, yeah, it's probably because they didn't see it going anywhere and they had wasted too much money on it. So this game probably would have been shit and he would have hated it, and then he probably would have called it woke slop because of the twink.
this should truly piss every single one of us off.
No, because really no one ever noticed fucking Scalebound.
And I hope that the Xbox game division shuts down. I hope that it fails so hard until they learn that gamers are primarily men and they need to be making games.
I hate to tell you, but they're not failing, right? They're, Assassin's Creed was on Game Pass, and that probably made Microsoft Studios, game studios, a lot of money on Game Pass. I hate to tell people, but it's the idea, like Game Pass wasn't making money for a long time. And I don't know that it's profitable yet. I think the last time I heard, which was last year, is it's not profitable yet. But as games go up to $80, $90, $100, and as Xbox is launching their games on everything and fucking Game Pass, people are going to start picking up Game Pass more because it's fucking, what, $15? Oblivion especially. So it's just going to become more common. It was a huge boon, and for Expedition 33 did very well on Game Pass and online. So they can talk about butchering sales and things like that, but I think you're going to start seeing Game Pass make the numbers, which I don't agree with, because some of the games that I think are coming to Game Pass are Game Pass slop, right? I think Avowed, that he pointed out over here, was Game Pass slop, made cheap and quickly for Game Pass. Obsidian hasn't been doing too great. I want to hold off hope for what's the new franchise? Halo. I feel like they barely paid attention to, except when Pride Month was around and the skins come out. Yeah, well, like there were the big, if you look into these games, and I remember, Outer Worlds 2. It looks good. We'll see. Outer Worlds 1, I think, was okay. A lot of people weren't happy with it. It feels like Obsidian has downgraded the way they make games. Like and you compare Outer Worlds to Fallout New Vegas, it seems very it seems like a downgrade, right? And then I'm sorry, they came out and said that they weren't trying to make Oblivion or Skyrim with Avowed, but they clearly were. And those are the problems with the games, not the gay character in it, right? Hell, the content is hella manly still. For Halo, yeah, absolutely. Halo Infinite. I mean, to me, Halo Infinite suffers from the Battle Pass slop problem, right? But I know tons of people who play it that enjoy it. My brother-in-law and all them play the game, him and his son, and they love it, right? You know, they buy all the skins. They're definitely the normie people.
For us. So what are some other woke black girl boss games that we got on Xbox that erased white men? Redfall comes to mind. The game has 8 people online playing.
Come on now, you're gonna completely ignore the hell that was Redfall. Like, it was the worst game launch in almost history. You know, especially for a AAA title. That game was broken at launch, and they never fixed it. They abandoned it, right? You're just using dishonest rhetoric for games that have black women in it. So far, you haven't shown me a game that's woke. You've shown me games that failed or may not have failed. Like, because I lean on the side that maybe South of Midnight didn't do as well as projected, but it depends on how much they made off of the Game Pass sales, right? Or the Game Pass accounts. Because I'm sorry, the numbers don't lie. People don't get Game Pass and then cancel it after they play the game they want to. They tend to stay on Game Pass and others charges like that until, like they said, one of the studies I looked at said the number one thing that stops people with a subscription is their debit card changing. Debit cards have what, like 4 to 6 years that they stay active. I don't have mine around. I'd look at it, but it's they make money off of these people. And even if the people play, say, Assassin's Creed, and then start playing other games that Xbox has already paid out for, Xbox is going to keep making money off of it. You know, I pick up Xbox Game Pass every now and again and just look through the catalog to see what's out there, what's coming, what's new, what's not. So you're just being dishonest, Andy. You're not even smart about it.
Like it. And it peaked 2 years ago at 1,500 people online at launch day. There are reports that Redfall cost $150 million to make. This means that instead of Microsoft making this, they could have just handed 1,500 people who played this game a check for $100,000, which I'm sure people would have preferred rather than playing this game. When this game
What about it is woke, though, Andy? Let's hear the deep dive. Come on.
came out, I was running an Xbox channel and I played the entire thing, and it was really bad. I came into it with a very positive attitude as well. I loved Prey, I loved Dishonored, and I wanted to like this. The game has 4 protagonists that are the worst possible characters.
Your people call Prey woke. Yeah, you realize that, right? And Dishonored woke. Redfall should have been peak. Redfall should have been peak. The company, who's the company that did Redfall? They were known for fucking outstanding games. Oh, I'm so old. Positive attitude, bro, was shilling. Was he? That's one thing I remember about it. We're going to look into a little bit of Andy Pants' history tonight, if we have time, though I am kind of falling on this one. So we might watch a few more minutes of this. I think we got the idea that they thinks. Yeah, there was a guy that came into, there was a couple of people actually that were arguing with me, fighting with me in chats, and Prey was on the woke list of games. And I told them to fuck off, that Prey, while it didn't do well, is now like a cult fucking classic.
Characters imaginable. You've got the black empowered girl boss, Layla. Her special is to summon her white, useless hipster ex-boyfriend. The other characters in the game are 2 very feminine-looking Indian men named Jacob and Devinder, and of course you have the white woman with the strong...
Feminine looking? Does that look like a girl to you? All right, we're stopping at Redfall, but like this is feminine looking. I mean, you could argue Indian, I guess, but feminine?
Looking Indian men named Jacob and Devinder.
And he doesn't look feminine. He just looks like a fucking, I don't know. You could, he's some flavor of brown, right? Looks more Spanish, maybe. I'm sorry, I get a little bit Fabio. Yeah, the first one actually does. No, he looks more like Fabio. He looks more, I don't know. I'm gonna sound racist if I try and discover what flavor of brown they are. He just looks like a dude, yeah. And then another woman, butch woman. The jawline analysis. Come on.
Beat off to a strong woman who will pick them up in her strong arms. Other characters.
Is he one of the guys that doesn't like buff women? He's not a muscle mommy guy. Come on now, Andy. I know you're a little you're a little closet gay. You have to you have to be a little bit attracted to those kind of women, right? The blonde twink. Yeah, he's in love with the blonde twink from
include the lesbian pastor who mocks Christianity. Also, in the opening fire station of the game, there are like these past deputies on the wall when you come in. And of course, it's like white guy, white guy, white guy, Latino woman, black man. The future is now. Get out of here, white people. Guys, they want to erase you. If you are supporting this woke garbage at all, just
want to erase you. All right, we're going to stop here because we kind of get the point. He is, yeah, he's got brain worms. He's just fucking, he has no idea about what any of these games actually are. He just says woke and cries woke, but really he's a fucking, I had something. I was going to lose it. He's just a closet gay who's angry at himself and uses Christian ideals to play it off. So he's a cultist. Yeah, you can't even call him a cult leader because while he has a following, we'll take a quick look at his channel. He doesn't, his videos aren't making, like, he's got some of these videos here that are like his most popular, but then look at this. His streams are only getting like 3K. Let's go to videos. Day 1, 31K, and it's been out all day, right? So that might grow. He's got 126 here, and then this one did really well. These are 2 months ago, so he hasn't done anything in forever. But then 56K, 88K, 69K for a 200,000 subscriber YouTuber. I'm new at this, but this just doesn't, you can see back here where he's making 100K, but then 50K, 50K. His Assassin's Creed video didn't even do that well. This one's a members only, 85K. He gets a video every now and again that pops off, and then the rest of it is like very mediocre, especially for putting out like 1 to 2 videos a month. 1 to 2 videos that don't have a lot of screen time on them, right? The power of clickbait. Well, here's the thing with clickbait. I would like to see, while he has a lot of, like, I would like to see his watch time ratio, right? Yeah, it's just videos who will, I mean, my videos, the name of this the name of this podcast or this show today is a little bit clickbaity, I would say. But he's, I don't know, it follows that same retrospect. Like, this one blew up last month, and this one blew up last month, but the month before that, in that same month, 2 of them didn't do well, right? And this one didn't do well, and this one did well, and this one did fairly well, this one did fairly well, and then this one didn't, this one didn't, this one didn't. I don't know. He's making some money, obviously, but subscribers doesn't mean much. It's watch time that means something. So anyways, I wanted to learn more about Andy, and I've watched some of his, history and him shilling for Xbox, but I figured we would go to someone who recently made a video on him. freaky from my POV, arguably, but black. Yeah, I guess I could see that from your perspective. Yes, he's a compromised person morally. Yeah, he's not a Christian. I definitely hold that. So we're gonna listen to the video, bleak as fuck, that Ryan Beard did on him. So hopefully he goes into some of the I gotta fix that so bad. I'm gonna fix this here real quick with the chat box. It bothers me, and I want it to show all of your shit. Views, edit. Where is it? Where is it? Streamlabs. There we go. Streamlabs. Widgets. Chat. Settings. Boop. Y'all don't need to see that. Font size. And I probably won't say it until sound volume, hide message after, chat delay. I don't need a chat delay. Hassan got Twitch banned, by the way. Did he? For what? I guess all his coverage of I thought you were able to. Let's take a look at that. Mass reported, probably. I haven't seen him say anything like out of pocket crazy. Nice. So I'm no Hassan fan, right? I'll go ahead and say the thing you have to say before you say something positive about Hassan, and that's Hassan bad. But I don't give a fuck about what he says online. Like, this retard is just as bad down here. Tectone is a fucking sad, pathetic waste of life. Too bad they don't tell us how long. He was just 2 hours ago. Holy shit. Last time he was banned was on March, and it was what, a 1-day ban. I doubt he'll be banned long. He does have YouTube under his wing. Let's see if I can make these smaller. Someone give me a little typey. Definitely not. It doesn't even seem. Oh, I guess I got to save the settings. Save successful. Oh, it clears it out. That's too small. Let's pick it up a little bit. We'll go to like 17. Save that. One day I'll figure out how this chat works. That's not bad. Let's do this. I guess I could. Boom, boom, boom. Y'all get to watch the behind the scenes footage of me trying to figure shit out. Unfortunately, with this chat box, you can't, like, I don't know. It's weird. I was under the impression you could move it. All right, let's get off of repo. We'll see if this fixes anything. We'll go with it. I don't want it to cover the whole goddamn screen. Y'all can't see that. Oh well. Oh well. We're gonna just disappear that for now. Boop. Because I'm gonna have to refigure out how that's done. That's not doing it right. Don't let me distract you from the videos. No, it's something I wanted to work out on the videos. So, but we'll get back to it. Boom. So let's listen to what Ryan Beard has to say. I mean, it's not like Tectone didn't brought Hassan's dad first. I mean, that's fair. And I cannot stand what Tectone does. What makes this is a little off topic, but what Tectone does is he uses very manipulative things to try and build up a thing. Like he did it with Frogan. What Frogan said was fucking dumb. The whole vets thing. Personally, I don't care. She can say it, and I'll still think she's a retard. But what Tectone did was to be like, oh well, my family is in the military, and it's so disgraceful to them. And it's just you're trying to get them on your side by using the military, and it's fucking, I can't stand it. I remember Tectone leaving Arknight's community because he was saying dumb shit about the community. Yeah, he's a retard, and he's very manipulative. Anyway, let's get back on topic here. Let's watch some Ryan Beard talk about the dumbest anti-woke gamer, bro.
Hello, my name is Ryan, and I am the president of Woke. And as the president of Woke, there is nothing that I hate more than attractive people. When I see an attractive person, I go, "Bah." But when I see an ugly person, well, in my dumb woke brain, attractive people are ugly and ugly people are attractive. That is an unfortunate side effect of pumping yourself full of this many vaccines. I'm sure we can all agree that I'm not the most attractive person you've ever seen. My face gives off less of a Timothy Chalamet vibe and more of a Paul Giamatti vibe. Because I'm not that attractive, I'm filled with a deep resentment and jealousy towards anyone who is attractive. Have you ever heard of fat camps? Well, I think we need to start attractive camps, where we round up all the attractives and we melt their skin off with acid so they can all be as ugly as me, and then we can finally have true equality. Thus declares the president of Woke. So was that satirical monologue that I just gave really fucking stupid? Yes, but according to Andy Pants Gaming, the channel we'll be looking at today, this is what woke people unironically believe. As woke people, it is our goal to purge all attractive people from video games. And according to Andy Pants Gaming,
You having a little crush on Ryan Beard there, Grizzle? I guess, yeah. I'm not a big fan of the parted hair. So, side note, he may be insensitive, but I made some bomb ass bacon for my burgers for dinner. You're just judging him. Ain't nothing wrong with bacon. I like my bacon. You just don't try and cook my pigs. We're good.
Left absolutely hates the new Monster Hunter game because some of the women in this game are attractive. I've been a big fan of the Monster Hunter franchise ever since I played Monster Hunter Tri on the Wii back when I was a kid, but I guess I must actually hate this franchise now because some of the women in the games are hot.
What's going on, guys? So Monster Hunter Wilds is absolutely crushing it, and the left, the coping, angry, mentally ill left, is absolutely seething right now.
You ever notice how Andy Pants never shows any comments of people seething? He never shows any evidence of this woke mind virus. It's just always his little pictures. It's because it's not that common. And it's also because he's too dumb to actually look it up.
Because of hot characters in games. Because they're jealous. Because they're jealous that they're not a biological woman and they look like a creature instead.
God made all right, hold on. Arguably, the guy on the left, while being trans, was definitely made by God, where the the gaming character on the right was very obviously not made by God.
So they're big mad.
So on the left here, we have the angry trans wojacks, which is what these people think all trans people look like. Just ignore trans people like Hunter Schafer. They don't exist. Every trans person looks like this picture on the left. And then on the right, we have some pictures of the blacksmith from the game Monster Hunter Wilds. And for some reason, he specifically picked out this picture that makes her look like she's like mid-orgasm or something. And all of the queer people are jealous of this because, as we know, queer people can't orgasm. When I was playing through Monster Hunter Wilds, I thought this was a pretty cool character. I liked her vibe. But wait, no, actually, I hated her character because she's hot and I'm jealous of her because I'm ugly.
You know what's funny is I don't think I ever saw anyone seething from the left about her character, but you know who I did see making comments about this character? The anti-wokes, because of her haircut. They were saying that she was a woke character even though she was hot. So, I mean,
because they're jealous. Because they're jealous that they're not a biological woman and they look like a creature instead.
I love how he shows this picture where on the left it says creature and on the right it says what God made. I don't know how to break this to you, but this is a video game character. God did not make her. People made her. Maybe he's just been like so mesmerized by her.
Did he go after some of the more butch characters in the game? Like, this is, I mean, that wouldn't surprise me with him. I haven't really viewed his channel. I like to, the first time you watch Andy Pants, it can be funny, right? I've watched videos where I can get a laugh off of the gay, racist humor of it all. The first time Grums even talked about the game, oh, Andy didn't. Yeah, Grums was definitely trying to jump on that woke train for it.
He's been watching her banging away on her anvil for hours, watching her have orgasms, and he's just become so obsessed with her that he's started to believe that she actually is a real person. I'm so sorry if you had to find out this way, Andy Pants, but this is a video game character, not a real woman.
Guys, Monster Hunter Wilds has crushed it. You thought Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 did well with 2 million copies? Yeah, get out of here. Monster Hunter Wilds sold 8 million copies in 3 days. And isn't it crazy? If you just give people what they want, if you give gamers what they want, a fun competitive.
Newsweek, Andy Pants is like a greasy burger. It might be funny for a moment, but then after like 10 minutes, the novelty wears off and you feel disgusted. Okay, true. And then later on, you got to take a shit, and it's never fun.
Compelling game with great gameplay.
Andy Pants is liquid diarrhea.
Hot female characters, masculine male characters, they will go out and buy it.
So here he admits on screen that he hasn't actually played the game. He's just assuming that the male characters in the game are masculine. As someone who actually has played this game, no, the male characters in this game actually aren't that masculine. You've got this kid who's always crying about something. Then you've got this twink who helps you research monsters. You've got this balding old guy who always looks slightly afraid. Really, the only like traditionally masculine character is the head of the guild that looks like Bob Odenkirk, who shows up for like 2 minutes at the beginning of the game. So this idea that Monster Hunter Wilds sold 8 million copies because it's filled with like masculine anti-woke men is not true.
It's made through a Japanese company, right? So it, like, I don't want to get too into it, but Japan is not necessarily always known for their masculine characters, right? They don't usually have super buff dudes. There's usually a range of character. I mean, any story has a range. Game does well, they spin it. Well, they spin it as a win. They have to. It has to be that game. If the amount of times that a game has come out and people have said, gaming is saved over the past 2, even 3 years is fucking baffling. It was like, which game is it that saved gaming, right?
I know that you really care about filling video games with as many beefcakes as possible, but it turns out most gamers actually don't give a fuck about that. They just want a fun game. Also, the 4 main characters of this game are 3 women.
What happened to CraftCon Grums?
I thought it was woke to have a game where most of the main characters are women. So you have a game where,
well, we've come to the conclusion that 3 blacks are too much, right? It's even worse when one of those blacks is trans, which I bet Andy Pants didn't even know about.
all of the main characters are women and all of the side characters are men who aren't really that masculine. But apparently this game is still based and anti-woke because some of the women are attractive. I'm starting.
She's black too. Yeah, she is.
To think that maybe there's no actual internal logic to this woke, anti-woke bullshit, and that you just slap the label of woke onto a game that you don't like. I know for a fact that if this game would have sucked, you would have called it woke, and you're only not calling it woke because you know that most people like the game.
So guys, what I want to talk about today is, I've jumped over to the Steam community forums, and it is, as always, a sewer and an absolute...
Oh, here we go. Let's see some of the stuff that he's bringing up.
So today, I want to respond to 4 different things that I read and read the comments on over on the Steam community forums that were pretty...
So 4 comments. Got
hilarious. And I've been getting a lot of requests for the voice. So you'll be getting lots of the voice.
Yes,
yeah.
The voice. We all love the voice. Oh, thank you for bringing back comedy. We all know that talking like Sid the Sloth makes everything funny. God, I am so glad that comedy is finally back after the wokies tried to steal it from us.
So yeah, God made what we see on the right here, and man made what we see on the left here. And
Excuse me.
I think I'm gonna settle for God's creation rather than man's creation.
Oh man, I didn't realize God was a dev in the studio. Thank God that God came down from the heavens to make Monster Hunter and this specific character in Monster Hunter World. It's just Jesus himself took the wheel or took the keyboard and made this happen. Why did they go seek out trans pictures? Because it's the easiest way to, like, they look for the most wretched looking trans pictures because it better invokes that that idea, right? I don't necessarily agree with like the idea necessarily fully of trans, but you can. I'm not going to stop anybody from being trans, right? We've come to the conclusion I'm very libertarian with that kind of stuff, and I think in a lot of it just comes down to because I've seen well-groomed trans people. Yeah, well, in things is some people changing over look a lot more. It's easier for them to present like as say male to female. It's a lot easier for them to present as female sometimes, right? Like there's some people who don't, no matter what they do, no matter how much surgery. And with that, like you have to go with people's instincts. Like there's nothing. There are problems I think with it, and there are things I don't agree with, but you can still be respectful, right? And just make fun of the ones who are already terrible people. Like terrible people are terrible people. Yeah, genes and things like that add into it. But let's see what we got here. See if he reads these.
What the fuck do you mean? God did not make this video game. Do you think that this game is like the golden plates from Mormonism and God just like descended from heaven and gave this game to Capcom? Obviously what he means is that God created women to be women and he created men to be men. But even if you don't believe that trans people are valid, guess what? They are still people that God created under your worldview. You don't get to suddenly not one of God's creations simply because they're trans. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. According to VeggieTales, God made you special and he loves you very much. But I guess if you're trans, God no longer made you. You're actually a human creation and you're some sort of strange cyborg.
So let's get right into it. An angry troon type.
7 interactions. I don't know how Steam Forum works, but 7, 8, 9 interactions, I should say, is not a lot. It's the research they did on Facebook. Most trans reference posts are from extreme conservative accounts about 70% of the time. I could believe that. Well, you get these same pictures that get loaded around, and it doesn't help when you've got, is her name Lindsay Phillips? Is that the one who always goes after people? Like she purposely tries to get people to misgender her. It doesn't help when you have a person like her that will purposefully go out into public and I don't know if that's the right name, so don't hold me to the name if that's the right name, for it. But she goes out into bad faith actors, is the best way to put it. So those blow up, and they be like anything that's bad faith generally. It blows up, and it's used against them, right? They get flack, but something it isn't enough. Yeah.
This with their pink hair and their.
Okay, I'm going to read this because I don't know that he's going to. The blonde blacksmith, Gemma, is over-sexualized. I'm not sure why the blonde blacksmith in the game has to look like an adult film star. There was the same issue in Final Fantasy 15, I believe, with the mechanic. You'll never see women like this in day-to-day life. I disagree with her on that. I've seen women like that before. I'm not going to pick, and I don't have a chance in hell. Well, no, men have it easier. We can be funny and pick up chicks. You know what I mean? That's why I don't understand the femcel or the incel movement. Like, you don't even have to be really that good looking. You just have to be funny, right? At least funny. I don't get the character's place in this game setting, and I likely won't be letting my teenage son play it now with the sexualized content. They're just saying they don't want the character. Okay. This could easily be a conservative, right? I doubt it. Like it's some kind of like the comment where she says you won't see this person in day-to-day life pushes me towards leftist, but a conservative could easily make this statement about over sexualized games. So the post is to bait people into giving their Jester award. Yeah, I could see that too. It's a Fell For It Again award. And like I said, it doesn't even have that many impressions on it. So how many comments were underneath it?
You can only imagine how bad the person smells who typed this. Mm-hmm. So they said, the blonde blacksmith, Gemma, is over-sexualized. I'm not sure why the blonde blacksmith in the game has to look like an adult film star.
Bro, you only did the Sid the Sloth voice for like 2 seconds. If you're going to do the Sid the Sloth voice, you've got to commit to the bit.
She's talking about this beautiful woman here. There was the same issue in Final Fantasy 15, I believe, with the mechanic. You'll never see women like this in day-to-day life, and the other women in the game look normal. I'm sure this is what she thinks like a normal. I'm sure this is what he or she thinks that a normal woman looks like.
Oh, changing his pronouns. That's very woke of you, Andy, to make sure that you weren't misgendering that person.
So he's assuming that this comment must have come from a trans person because we all know that dumb equals trans. If you ever see a really dumb comment left on Facebook or something and you assume it's written by some out-of-touch boomer, it actually wasn't written by an out-of-touch boomer. It was written by a trans person because every dumb comment comes from trans people. Trans people make up 1% of the population, but they make up 100% of the stupidity of the population. So yeah, this comment is obviously dumb. I don't think it's inherently bad to have a character that's a little bit sexualized. And yes, obviously there are some women in real life who do look like this, and assuming that a conventionally attractive woman couldn't be a blacksmith is already unironically sexist in the first place. So yeah, dumb comment. But cherry picking one random dumb comment from one random woke person obviously does not mean that this is what all woke people believe.
I have noticed a rise in calling people trans, calling trans people out, I assume what you're saying, out of leftists on Twitter, like just as an insult. So, calling them trans if they're a lefty? Yeah.
Wait a second. Was...
What is it they like to call you, a troon?
This comment actually written by a woke person for some...
No, like if you say something, they'll call you one. Yep.
Some strange reason, he's decided to black out the username of the user who posted this. So I went and actually looked up this comment on Steam, and guess what? It was posted by a troll. This comment was posted by a user named Clint No Nerdywood, and it's pretty obvious that Andypants here dropped out their username and profile picture because this picture of Clint Eastwood doesn't fall into their narrative that this was written by a trans person. And
Hold on, let's go. I don't respond to rats with private profiles on Steam discussion. or feed their fake sense of self-importance and delusions of grandeur. Anything I see written for you/them is essentially null and void.
Clint Eastwood doesn't fall into their narrative that this was written by a trans person.
Yeah, Ryan did bait us.
He cropped out their username and profile picture is a pretty good indication that he is a dirty fucking liar. Andy says that whoever left this comment probably smells bad because they're trans.
You can only imagine how bad the person smells who typed this.
But I would say that this person probably smells bad because they're a basement-dwelling internet troll who wastes their time posting comments on the internet to try to make woke people look bad. On Steam, I guess people will purposefully make troll posts because they're trying to get as many jester reactions as possible, and these jester reactions translate to Steam points, and this post got 84 jester reactions, which shows that most people understood that this was a troll post. I looked through this dude's post history, and a couple years ago he used to troll people by making anti-woke troll posts. Mortal Kombat went woke? They nerfed the women in the game. Why?
See, this is the thing, like, even I was doing it on the video we were watching earlier. All it takes is the simplest research to be able to find this stuff out, and instantly you can tell Andy is full of shit.
It was always violence and beautiful women, but now they look generic and woke. Looks like the first time in years I skip a Mortal Kombat.
I ever wonder if, like, Andy was talking in some Discord somewhere about, like, to something he thought was a woman, but then ended up that it was a trans person, and that's why he's so mad. He got tricked, and he felt like he was a victim.
Combat game. Such a shame. Looks like the player base is dropping off quite hard as well, which is another reason to steer clear as it stands. Go woke, go broke, I guess. So this comment was obviously posted by a troll who enjoys baiting people into getting mad at his posts so that he can farm Steam points. Do you think that an actual woke person would have a picture of this stereotypically masculine looking trans person on their profile? Obviously not. So now that we know that this comment was posted by a troll, we know that Andy Pants either fell for the bait or he's intentionally lying to his audience to make trans people look bad. And I would say that the fact that he cropped out their username and profile picture is a pretty good indicator that he is lying to his audience.
But me as a straight heterosexual male, there's nothing.
You ever notice how he constantly has to say this? He constantly has to reaffirm that he is a straight sexual, what did he say? Straight sexual male? Straight male, straight, either way, he has to constantly tell us he's straight. I've been straight my whole life. I've never had to tell people that I was straight, right? I've never, okay, I've been to a gay bar, so maybe there I'd have to be like, I like women, bud. Though getting free drinks at a gay bar is, a nice change of pace from when I was, when I had to buy drinks for women.
Nothing wrong with beauty. There's nothing.
But Andy Pants, we know you have to completely tell yourself you're straight. You look at your wife and you can't get hard, and it bothers you. And then you look on a post and see this trans woman that still kind of has a 5 o'clock shadow, and your little dingleberry starts to perk up, and you hate yourself for it. And it's okay, man. Like I said, there's always people here that are willing to talk to you about it. When you're ready to come out, just let us know. We'll be here and we'll be accepting.
Wrong with an attractive woman in a game. This is not porn. This is not gooning. This is not overly anything. It's
sexualized. It is. You can't deny that it's sexualized.
Attractive woman in a game, and people need to chill out.
Thank you, Andy Pants, for finally standing up for the right of straight men to be attracted to women. I thought that straight guys could only fuck dudes, but you have finally showed the world that straight guys can fuck women. But yes, thank you so much for making this revolutionary point that it's okay for video game characters to be attractive. You really showed that troll who wrote that fake comment trying to make woke people look bad. I do find it a bit confusing how these sorts of Christian dudes set their standards, because on the one hand,
I'll argue this, that I don't think, like, I wouldn't call myself a good Christian. I need to read my Bible more. And strangely enough, Trench Crusade might be helping me do that. But Andy Pants doesn't follow Christian beliefs, not even a little bit in those cases. He uses Christianity as a shield to be able to say the things that he says, right? Or to, hide some other urges.
Hand, he's saying it's okay for women to look like this, but on the other hand, growing up, I know that if a girl were to dress like this, these would be the same types of dudes who would tell her to cover up and tell her that modest is hottest. So like,
that is true. A true Christian would look at that and be like, no, thank you. Well, no, not a true Christian. I'll argue against that. But yeah, you wouldn't I wouldn't let my daughter go out into public looking like that. We'll say that, right? I didn't even think of that outlook. Thank you, Ryan Beard.
Is it okay for women to dress like this now? Or is it only okay for women to dress like this when there's someone you personally find attractive because you want to objectify them? I guess we'll never know. And no, I am not saying it's bad to find a video game character attractive. I'm just saying that under your worldview, I don't really understand when it is and isn't acceptable for women to show skin. Or, we could reject your worldview and just let women do whatever they want. That is an option.
And then the angry, ugly troon who can't pass as a woman said, it's her overall look, hair, also, and body. They knew what they were doing, and it has no place in Monster Hunter.
This has no place in Monster Hunter? Bro, this is so obviously a troll comment. Women in Monster Hunter have always dressed like this, so this comment is obviously fucking trolling. Do you realize this and you're just lying to your audience, or are you a fucking moron?
I think Andy Pants is fucking stupid, but that's my personal take. I don't think he has a brain in his body to be able to determine what a troll is and what isn't. Just like his game analysis.
Chad said, this is a game. This is such a great response. This is a game in a fantasy setting, not real life. If you want real life, go to work.
So Dark Side Walker is either a troll or fell for it again award. Lying by omission is still lying. Yes.
Exactly.
I love his little fake laugh. I think it's kind of cute when this dude hypes up other dudes' comments. Yes, dude, that is so fucking true. You are such a Giga Chad. If they want real life, then they can go to work. I'm just so glad that we have this glorious comment from this based Giga Chad who fell for the bait and responded to this troll as if they were being genuine. This is how a lot of these online ecosystems work. You have trolls who come in and post obviously stupid things to make woke people look bad.
So true, bestie.
Dudes who get to feel smart and intellectually superior because they can dunk on how dumb this troll comment was. It basically just becomes this cringy circle jerk where they're all jerking each other off for being so much smarter than the dumb woke people who aren't actually even saying the things that they're claiming that they're saying. Now, is it actually true that woke people want to get rid of attractive people in video games? No, obviously not. This might be a bit of a hot take, but sometimes, having some hot characters in a video game can be kind of nice. Sometimes when my gooner brain sees some pixelated titties on the screen, it's kind of nice, What can I say?
I've never this is one thing I've never wondered too. Like, gay people like hot people too. So like a gay man would enjoy a buff character in a game, whether he was straight or gay, because just as much as I would find a lesbian attractive, right? If it's a hot lesbian, it's not like, where are these ugly people who just want to make the characters game? There are some people who like to see games that have someone they can relate to in it, but there's not this mass thing of people trying to make
criticism
games.
of video games is not that we should remove every
Tasteful game fan service is good.
Games. That's obviously stupid. The woke criticism is just that it's dumb to expect every single woman in every single video game to be conventionally attractive. Because in the real world, not everyone's attractive. In the real world, a lot of people are ugly as fuck. I don't play video games because they reflect reality. I play video games to escape from reality. Video games are fantasies, and in my fantasies, everyone is hot, not ugly. Look, that is fine. If in your real life you are just surrounded by uglies, so you need to play video games to escape from this ugly hell you're living in, I have no problem with that. I am not trying to take away your sexy little fantasies. I just personally think that art is more interesting when it explores a wide range of stories and themes and topics and people and experiences. Instead of expecting every single actor in every single movie to look like they're straight out of Baywatch, I think it can be cool to have movies like The Holdovers where actors like Paul Giamatti and Divine Joy Randolph, who might not be super conventionally attractive, give great performances. If you personally want to keep playing the same type of video game over and over,
Gays can enjoy boobs too. I mean, I didn't know that. Sure, I guess. I mean, I think boobs are great for everyone. Taste. And so they have elementary school view on it. Yeah.
over and over.
It's such a small time view. Like these people weren't playing. They can't have played a lot of the games based in stories. Stories are one of my favorite parts of video games. And even in the past, there's been, like, not every character has been hot. There was a lot of games that sold sex, sex sells, and it was prominent in a period, but it's not the end all be all. More games are being made now and launching every day than ever in history. And these guys find the small few that are bad games and might have some woke stuff in it. Maybe, but though he didn't give very many examples in his last video.
Go for it. I am not trying to spoil your fun. I just think it's more interesting to expand the limits of what is possible with art instead of trying to restrict the limits of what is possible with art. And personally, I do think that video games are art. I think that video games are a serious art form that deserve to be taken seriously. But if you personally decide that the only games that you want to play are big bouncy booby simulators, then go for it.
Yeah, not every game needs Gooner bait. So I've tried to have this argument with people, and I would like to bring on like a much more right woke guy. There were Gooner games when I was a kid. Like, you call something a Gooner game or Gooner bait, and they get super mad. Like, it's not. It's a real game. Like, listen, dude, it's okay. Games can be Gooner bait, right? When I was a kid, we had Dead or Alive, the volleyball edition. That was nothing but straight Gooner bait. By a different name back then, but that's what it is. Stellar Blade, while it's probably going to have a good story and good things like that, it's Gooner bait. They put in so much Gooner bait that was like their whole marketing ploy. Don't get mad because you feel some sort of way that people call you a Gooner for looking at it.
I just hope you don't get too triggered when an ugly person might show up in your video games from time to time. He then goes on to make fun of comments from two other people, one from someone with the username Makima and one from someone with the username EI. Makima made a post about how he thinks this one character named Alma is a white savior because she doesn't respect the cultures of the villages that you visit in the game.
So this mentally ill person said, "Does Alma suffer from white savior syndrome? She quickly adopts the different villagers' hand gestures, among other things, without having
2 impressions at the time that he looked at this, by the way.
any clue what they mean or if it's even appropriate for her to use them. Plus her constant need to over-deliver in the villagers' problems and trying to save the day, etc."
According to Andy Pants, because this comment is so dumb, Makima must be a trans woman who looks like this. But I went through Makima's post history and guess what I found? A post where he says that if pronouns and pride flags are added to the game, he will quit the game. So Makima, like Andy Pants, is another anti-woke person. Andy Pants found this post from Makima, assumed that the post must have been from a trans person because it was stupid, but actually it was from an anti-woke person. Accusing characters of being white saviors is not something that only people on the left do. Anti-woke people on the right also accuse people of being white saviors all the time. They claim that people on the left only care about racism because they're trying to be white saviors to black people. So it makes sense that this post could have been made by an anti-woke person person complaining about white saviorism, but Andy Pants does.
It's funny how this rhetoric among the anti-wokers is so close to the Reddit, the talking points of the woke, right? It's like you could copy and paste that to a leftist account, since it's obviously an anti-woker, a woker's account, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference.
Doesn't even consider this. He just saw that the post was stupid and assumed that a trans person made it. That is, unless he already knows all of this and he again is purposefully lying. The next post is from someone named EI, who says, "Is this game involuntarily racist?"
Somebody who probably looks like the woman on the left said this. Is this
Probably looks like the woman on the left. God, Andy, you're so retarded. That they spent 10 years fighting and saying virtue signaling bad, only to become them. Yeah, I can argue with that. I would put more to it. Like a lot of these guys, like Smash JT and Andy Pants and things like that, didn't come to prominence until wow, he didn't misgender. Hold on. They came to prominence maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. Like Andy didn't really get followers until the what's his name? The interview he had, or the debate he had. Hold on. I gotta hear this.
Somebody who probably looks like the woman on the left said this. Is this game involuntary?
He did. Andy got reacted by Asmongold. Oh, Ackman destroyed him. Yeah, Ackman absolutely destroyed him. Well, that's the problem. A lot of these people do get, especially here lately. Asmongold likes to prop up some of the dumbest players in the game, and they're trying. Like he's the only thing that's still keeping the anti-woke alive, because he has such a vast following. He'll re-inject it into him. But most of those people don't equal viewers for these guys, only on the short term.
Really racist. The main protags are white and treat the dark-skinned tribes/people as if they were lesser creatures.
I looked through EI's post history, and guess what? It's another troll. Here's a post they made about Elden Ring. "My wife's boyfriend is laughing at me because I can't beat Rolana, and I think I speak for all of the Reddit community that this game is harder than opening a Soylent bottle." So this is playing into the anti-woke trope that any dude who enjoys like mass-produced things like Star Wars or Marvel or Elden Ring must be demasculated. And usually this is partnered with conspiracy theories that all of these mass-produced things are made by Jews. That's why these alt-right types refer to things like Star Wars or Marvel as goy slop. And under another post by this EI person, they said, "More like pay full price to beta test for us goyim," which implies that Jews
Come on. Oh, that's a little funny.
run the gaming industry, and they're trying to get people to beta test for them for free because Jews are obviously so cheap. So again, this post asking, "Is this game involuntarily racist?" was made by an alt-right troll to make people mad. When alt-right people post shit that is purposefully trying to make queer people look bad, this is called running gay ops. This term originates from 4chan, and it refers to when these people will run harassment campaigns where they try to make queer people look as bad as possible by purposefully spreading misinformation about them. So again, this post is either Andy Pants falling for this obvious gay op, or it is him purposefully playing into the gay op to make queer people look bad. So let's recap. Basically, no one on the left was actually mad about Monster Hunter Wilds. This is a game that is pretty universally enjoyed across the board, but in order to claim that the left is seething about Monster Hunter, this absolute moron takes 2 troll comments and 1 comment posted by another anti-woke person and uses them to prove how stupid trans people are. And as long as he does his little Sid the Sloth voice and puts pictures of not very attractive trans people next to these comments, this is enough for his audience to eat up his bullshit.
I know I often say this, but these people are narcissists to their core, and they believe 2 things. Everything is about me, everything is about my culture, but also simultaneously, I am better than other people.
Bro, this is so fucking ironic. In this other video that Andy Pants posted, he straight up says that it is men's place to rule the world.
There are only 2 genders, and you're the man one, so act like one. You were made to conquer.
This was such a dog shit video.
The Bible says you were made to rule. And here's the thing I need you guys to realize. This is your world. So why are we acting like we don't run this shit?
Bro, that is the definition of narcissism. I don't think I deserve to rule the world because I'm queer. I just want people to not treat me like shit because I'm queer, leave me the fuck alone, and not make videos like this lying about my community. And I don't think I'm better than anyone else simply because I'm queer, but I do think I'm a better YouTuber than you are because I don't put out videos where I fall for bait or intentionally fucking lie to my audience.
And guys, this is why I often say that these atheists and these LGBTQ supporters, it is a religion, because when you don't have a religion in your life to ground you, you have to make up fake rules for a fake religion to feel better than everyone else. So instead of bracing it.
Oh, yeah, this is such a fucking bad point. I don't even want to get into this because this is just so retarded.
Embracing a real faith and maybe giving your life.
He's trying to make a play off of the idea that you have to have religion to have morality, right? And he's trying to use these talking points to prove that without following God, you can have no morals, which is far from the truth, right? We as people and societies can have morals without religion. I follow religion because the beliefs I have in it. And there's there's some things that we would find immoral now that happened in the Bible, right? So it's just I hate this argumentation that you have to have faith to be moral.
Life to Jesus, like the person on the right, you've embraced a fake religion.
What?
Jesus would hate you, Andy Pants. He'd still love you because he's Jesus. But if you've never read the New Testament, then what you're saying doesn't even match up.
What religion have I embraced exactly? The religion that says that gay people exist and you shouldn't treat them like shit? Usually religion implies a belief in something supernatural, but there's nothing supernatural about queers. What, do you think they're going around?
Yeah, Vincent, you're missing it. We're right towards the end. Though, hey, I'm giving Andy Pants some points. Earlier in the video, we were watching some of his video content, and here, he is really good about not misgendering trans people. I was very surprised. So win to Andy Pants there.
Casting gay spells and shit. I don't have to put my faith in the fact that gay people exist because I can see gay people right in front of my eyes.
I know he was like an Xbox shill. I haven't looked deeply into it. I think I watched part of the video that one of his friends or something like that, or he used to watch him, made, where they talked about how an absolute shill he was for Xbox. But other than that, I don't know a lot. I know he had a Bible channel too at one point. No? Well, let me know.
But you do have to put faith in the fact that God exists because you can't see God. And I don't think that there's anything inherently wrong with religion, but I'm definitely not fucking bowing down to the pride flag.
Oh, wait, there was something that he has said things like positive towards gay people, right? I want to say I remember something like that. The Bible channel is what you're talking about. I want to say that in one of his videos, he did talk positively about trans people or not trans, gay people, and was defending the idea. And now he's completely turned around.
In the same way that you bow down to God, if someone in the queer community says something stupid, I can just say, hey, that's dumb. I don't agree with that. But under your worldview, you are not allowed to disagree with anything that it says in the Bible.
Let no one deceive you with empty words, for because of such things the wrath of God is coming on the sons of the disobedience. On the sons of disobedience. I hate to tell you, Andy, but your rhetoric is empty words. If you're going by what we go about, Your rhetoric is empty words, and you are one of the sons of disobedience.
I'm sure the point that he's trying to make is that, similar to religion, you can't say anything that goes against the queer community because they'll instantly try to cancel you. But I disagree with queer people all the time because queer people are just people and they get things wrong. But under your worldview, you can never disagree with God because he is perfect and he never gets things wrong.
And all these people are communicating is that they believe deep in their heart that there needs to be a religion and that there is a God. They just have a retarded one.
Damn, dude, that is such a great argument. Your God, the real God, is the smart God, and my God, the pride flag, is the retarded God. I wonder if Socrates could have ever predicted that this would.
Yeah, they say idiot or liar. I wanna make fun of him and say that he's just an idiot, but there are signs that he is a liar, like obviously blocking out usernames that you can clearly see your troll accounts when you start looking at them.
Would be the type of intellectual debate people would be engaging in someday. So I think we can all.
Your gay God. Where is he? Oh, I don't know. He's probably at a parade somewhere.
All agree that this video.
Yeah, the entire thing about South of Midnight, where he clearly has never played it. He didn't pick up the game and play it for 10 minutes. He never played it, right? The blatant and then pointing to 2 games not even out yet. Yeah. Well, it's this thing where he just says he sees black person and goes black woke and girl boss with no real. He hasn't. I've never seen him deep dive into anything or come up with any arguments because he can't.
Andy Pants was completely and utterly worthless. The left was not complaining about Monster Hunter. Most people on the left, like me, think it's a great game, but you just needed to find some way to get triggered and offended by woke people, so you fabricated this narrative that the left hates Monster Hunter by using a bunch of troll comments. So this is a direct call out to Andy Pants Gaming. Will you acknowledge that this entire video is you either falling for obvious bait or you intentionally lying to your audience? If you genuinely care about your audience, I think they deserve better.
He doesn't care about his audience. He cares about money.
Than this absolute dog shit video. And to any anti-woke people who might happen to be watching this for
I'm listening.
some reason, don't you think that you deserve better than this? Don't you at least want the creators that you watch to be honest with you? I do agree there are some woke people on the internet who say dumb things sometimes, and sometimes it can be fun to poke fun at them as long.
Well, I think Ryan Beard has gotten better, but I think he's actually, like, you see a lot of the BreadTube guys failing a lot. He is definitely I just want them to not be retarded. Same. I just want to get rid of the ones that have injected themselves into gaming commentary and are just absolute dumbasses. Sniveling little worms writhing on the fucking ground. But yeah, Ryan Beard, I think, has done better for himself than a lot of the other BreadTubers. He's managed to kind of change his content. Smash, Asman, Savvy, Indy, Grums, all these people are ruining the internet. See, I am starting to disagree on this statement. They are clearly losing growth in the thing. They try and be loud, and people think they're bigger. But if you really go and look at them, like, let's go look at even Savvy. Madame Savvy. Madame Savvy. There she is. I mean, this one did well, 82K views. And she's one of the, let's see. I'll bring it up on screen. Her Dustborn stuff did really well. Okay, that is fucking awful. Her Dustborn stuff did really well, right? 82,000. For a channel that is 17,000, that's fucking amazing. But if you start looking like at her recent stuff, 2.1K, 2K, 31K. This one did well for her channel size. 3.1K, 14K, 1.4K. She's not pulling, like, and even there, she's only done it. How's her live doing? 2.5K, 1K, 700. She's not, I would want to know how many are live viewers. Like, can I see the count if I go in here? It's got views. Shut up. But it does. How many does she average on stream, right? Journalist of the year, right here, by the way. Reading a game developer. I mean, I would like to see how many views she got, like what her top views were for this. And it won't let me see any of that, right? So if she had 2,000, 3,000 people watching, that's great for her size channel. But she's not growing. But if it isn't 2,000, 3,000 people and she only has 100 or 200 or something like that, then she's not doing all that well. And it's kind of that way across the board with a lot of these anti-woke guys. Endymion is the biggest. So he sees growth, but even his growth has started to drop a little bit, where he's still growing, but he's not growing as much. And none of them are in the negative yet. To be fair, she isn't slopping like Smash and Indy. Yeah, there's very few times that I think she makes a completely retarded statement. Most of it is pretty unimaginative at best.
As long as you don't act like this is what all woke people think. And I feel like if Andy Pants actually respected your intelligence, he would take the time to find actual examples of woke people being dumb instead of using obvious troll comments. But hey, if you find this type of slop entertaining, if you just enjoy turning off your brain and laughing about the dumb, ugly trans people, then I guess go for it. But just know that the vast majority of woke people are much more reasonable than these anti-woke grifters make us out to be. We also just want to play good, fun video games. And yeah, sometimes we might have criticisms of the video game industry if it feels like they're only making the same type of game over and over and over, but I don't see why.
And this comes down to like your general woke person, or leftist, we'll say, because that's more what it is not that far away from wanting good video games than your general anti-wokeist or right-leaning, whatever you want to call it. Most people want just good games. There was an activist movement that was very loud and, trying to, in a lot of the big gaming outlets that were pushing this kind of propaganda, if you want to call it that, or these very activist style things like the gaming industry hates women and get rid of male gamers, but it was like fluff pieces to make people mad. And while I agree with shouting him down, I was definitely an anti-woker on that time. It's not as prominent now. It's pretty much all but gone away, with the occasional dumb take coming out every now and again and not getting anywhere close to making it.
It's bad to want a bit more variety in the gaming industry. You can have your games where every man on screen is a hyper-masculine beefcake and every woman on screen is a perfect 10 out of 10. And maybe we can also have other types of games that explore other types of people and experiences where not every single person needs to be super attractive or hypersexualized. Deal? I just find this video so...
No, I will not take that as a deal.
Funny because I can literally picture in my head how he could have made a video accusing Monster Hunter Wilds of being super woke if the game wouldn't have done well. I think making anti-woke propaganda would be super easy because you can spin anything into being woke if you look at it from the right direction. So now to end out the video, I am going to show you the video that I would make if I was an anti-woke YouTuber who wanted to accuse Monster Hunter Wilds of being too woke.
Thanks to Savvy having about something that supports Andy Pants BS about GTA 6 and had Smash boost that was funny. I think I missed that one with Savvy, but maybe I didn't, and who knows, I may just be old and already forgetting. But it's so crazy how that works. Like, they want to push Andy Pants away and say that he's a radical, but then they'll boost him in the same moment. You kind of saw the whole falling out with JDA and all of them. They're very willing to support those guys until the tide turns against them. And then suddenly, oh no, those guys are extremists. That's not us. Even though you can go through their posts and see how many times they've reposted their shit over and over and over again. Beardy Pants Gaming.
What's up? Welcome back to Beardy Pants Gaming. Today we're going to be taking a look at Monster Hunter Wilds, the latest DEI monstrosity from Capcom. In this game, basically every female has her tits out, which you Coomers probably think is based, but in reality, Capcom knows that as long as they can stimulate your Coomer brain, you'll ignore all the woke bullshit that they shoveled into this game. In this game, the four main characters are 3 girl bosses and a brown kid, and the plot of the story is just about going around to all these DEI villages to help them with their problems or whatever. Clearly the message of this game is that if you're a white person, instead of staying in your own civilization and helping your own people, you should go out to brown people's villages and help them rebuild their mud huts, because that's clearly a great use of your time. In this game, basically the only straight white male is this dude who's a bumbling buffoon who has no idea what the fuck he's doing, because we can't have a straight white male character who isn't a moron. That wouldn't be empowering to women. This is just the latest step in the demasculization of white men, but of course normies will slurp it up because in this game they let you kill monsters. And before you get triggered, no, I'm not trying to take your goy slop away from you. I'm sure your wife's boyfriend will let you play as long as you ask her nicely. This is the 6th game in the Monster Hunter franchise. This franchise has been going on for over a decade by now, but instead of preserving the integrity of the franchise, in this one they added the ability for male characters to wear female armor and female characters to wear male armor. Because of course we can't just let men be men and women be women. We've got to throw in some trans bullshit to keep them happy. I'm sure it would be so scary for these giant monsters to see a tranny running towards them. Oh no, he's gonna inject me with his estrogen. So scary. Although when you look at these people, they are pretty scary to look at, so maybe they actually would cause these monsters to go run and hide out of pure cringe. In this game, you do at least get to kill animals, which is good. Any chance to piss off vegans is a chance worth taking. But of course, they had to throw in some woke environmentalist bullshit about how the humans are upsetting the balance of nature, and if they don't stop tampering with the natural order, they might destroy the planet. Near the end of the game, you find out that the real villains weren't the massive dragons burning shit to the ground. No, the real villains were the humans all along. And if you want to help save the environment, then you should probably stop having children. It's just typical anti-natalist propaganda to try to convince white people to lower their birth rates so that they can take over. Anyway, I rate this game 1 Soylent bottle out of 5. You might enjoy this game if you're the type of dude who enjoys watching Marvel movies with your wife's boyfriend, but I would say that if you really need to coom while killing animals, just go jerk off while shooting a deer or some shit and leave this game in the woke garbage where it belongs. I hope you enjoyed that stupid little sketch. Pants, I give you permission to steal that script for your next video if you want. If your audience is dumb enough to enjoy watching you read out troll comments as if they're genuine, then they'll probably also be dumb enough to enjoy watching you stealing someone else's script. Anyway, instead of judging games based on whether or not they're woke, maybe we should just judge games based on whether or not they're fun or whether or not they make interesting art. And with that, I will see you wokies next time.
Go!
We'll have to bring it back to Chibi in a little bit, but it's funny that that's the next one that popped up. Every Monster Hunter game plot. Yeah, I've always thought that that was the plot. I'd never played a lot of them, but it always felt that kind of way. Even Yorch seems to have calmed down. Yeah, I think Yorch is smart enough to see that the roads are changing, so he's trying to slowly move over. And then JDA, man, he is pretty much a nobody now. I've seen occasionally people post stuff that he says, but he doesn't give a like. No one gives a fuck about him anymore. I do think it broke him because he realized he's not as relevant as he thought he was becoming, and he's at the end of the anti-woke movement. So, yep. You just hate Savvy because she doesn't equally report. Yeah, well, I mean, none of these guys equally report, if you want to talk about it that way. And one thing that I hate about Savvy is this dumb idea that she's constantly pushing the this is who they are. This is who, generally ignores Smash's sins. They all do. That's pretty common when you get into a group where you have to all band together. You've heard the people flat out say, Grums and some of the other smaller guys that go around them say that they need to stick together and not do all this internal fighting. So it doesn't matter what the other people do, as long as they're still with the right message. I mean, Chibi is an example of that too. Doesn't matter that he's a crybaby bitch. It matters that he's saying the right terms, we'll say. But Andy Pants, I think, is hiding his gayness behind these videos. Somewhere along the line between him giving really shitty Xbox shilling and his Bible channel, he somehow realized that he was really more feminine and had some tendencies towards the male variety. And now he does everything he can to fight against that by calling everything gay and woke. I think I press Hypnotic on that. He tries to say, turn it around, me, and claim I never talk about Alyssa. But they like to assume things. That comment was directed at the equal report thing. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's what they'll say. You never report on Alyssa. You never do this or that. And, you can say that Alyssa is a dumb bitch. What are you sending me, Grizzle? What do we got here? What is this? This is what this guy sounds like, by the way.
Yeah, we have to wake people up. We have to wake Elon Musk up. Elon Musk, if he wakes up, he's going to wake all those millions of people up. That's the goal. That's it.
Hold on.
Yeah, we have to wake people up. We have to wake Elon Musk up. Elon Musk, if he wakes up, he's going to wake all those millions of people up. That's the goal. That's it.
What the fuck? Oh my god, this account's voice. 500k follower, anti-woke account. Well, that's the thing. Like, you start looking, like, you could say the same thing where they talk about the ugly looking trans women or men. They always usually use women. And I think it's because it's easier for someone going from female to male to look more masculine. You start taking testosterone, it tends to have a bigger effect on you. Musk simps. Like clockwork, fuck white South Africans. I am Jewish, you moron. Interesting. Wake up for what? These people, man, don't want to rely on personalities of themselves. Oh no, you can't. You have to steal personalities from others. Boop. But you start looking at like pictures of some of these dudes, and you're like, man, you don't really have anywhere to talk. Like, is the person that you hate seeing yourself in the mirror? I'm not a looker by any means, but this seeing some of these guys and how antisocial they are is just fucking nuts.
Yeah, we have to wake people up. We have to wake Elon Musk up. Elon Musk, if he wakes up, he's going to wake all those millions of people up. That's the goal. That's it.
Wake millions of people up to what, though? Like, this guy's a retard. I am Sniffles, part of the Sniffles, even harder, master race. Oh, Jesus. I hate to tell you, but back in the day, you probably would have been put up for eugenics. Yeah, I heard the deep breath. I heard the deep breath. All right, so far that's my video on Andy Pants. I thought with his game coming out, we would take a look at it. Oh, I forgot to did we look at his website? We'll look at his website real quick. So here he's lying. I guarantee you that they didn't ban it for something. They banned it because it's AI slop, and he probably didn't disclose that. And then this is gay. Because the left hates free speech, I hate to tell you, buddy, you know absolutely nothing about fucking free speech. Yes, Twitter is a zoo, but I like it. I like going in there. Not gonna lie, I wish I had it was $5. I mean, it's 2 hours is not worth $10. I don't give a fuck who you are. Websites where you can buy a game are constantly getting taken down. Where are they getting taken down? AI slop games are probably getting taken down because people are trying to make them and not disclosing that they're AI, which is clear in the terms and conditions. I'd rather buy some indie slop on Steam than give Andy $10. If I thought that I could play this game on YouTube, and I already know that I can't, seeing the trailer and other stuff, I would buy it just to make fun of them, right? Or a Fortnite skin. But since I know since it's been banned on a multitude of places, I don't trust paying the $10 to make fun of them, right? Oh, what do you got here? $10. He's gotten 3 ratings. 2 were 5 stars, and 1 5-star, 1 4-star, 1 1-star. Brandon Ramos. Wow, everyone's first names are like full out on here, I guess. Oh, stone faces, so maybe not. Look at this description. The game works on PCs only. You need a keyboard to play the game. You couldn't put something on here? Yeah, 3-star, 3 ratings. So far, at least 3 people have bought it. I just don't see anybody like email updates for Andy Pants. I'm good. Add issues with the collisions. Otherwise, not bad for a first attempt at a game. I also realize that it was meant to be in your face, but I'd like to see another game with more subtle approaches. Even the one that liked it. So it's not just right-wing Concord. Oh, shit. Hold on. Oh, fuck me. We are screenshotting that. Oh, dude. And then the next one says, interesting project, funny, and a bit short for $10. Yeah, I agree. I'm giving 1 star because there is more than a few bugs that will stop your game. This is another reason I think it might not have made it onto Steam. Send it to you? Yeah, I'll send it to you, Grizzle. Don't worry. I'm sharing that in Airbag's Discord. Hold on. I'll send it to you here. Boop. Oh, where were we? There it is. And make you start again from the beginning. If a moving character bumps into yours, both the models are stuck together, forcing a restart. That's like a very basic collision issue, right? Also, no controller support. No bueno. Can I see what the 5-star said? Is the 5-star Andy? It doesn't let me look at any of the other ratings. Come on, bud. You should at least be able to see the ratings. But somehow Concord, oof. Right-wing Dustborn would have made more sense. Well, I mean, if you say Concord, it means because the game is broken. Like this guy talking about collision mechanics and stuff like that. I commented on K-Med's post about this game a long ago, and Andy would make a game worse than Alex Jones. Yeah, that's true. Let's see here. Whoop. Let's make a post. Oh yeah, I'm adding him. Even though he won't see it, he doesn't see my ats anymore. Anti-woke. Congratulations on your success, Andy. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, man. That's just sad. So there we are. Andy Pants Gaming's new gay, Chad versus the gay Nazi. Wokes are, we could call this fucking rightoid slop or anti-woke slop game. At least Alex Jones games made it to Steam. Yeah, and that's why I think it isn't because of the messaging. I guarantee you it has something to do with how broken this game is, or something that he didn't do on the opening page. Because I mean, he's so lazy, he didn't even put a description in here. There's something else going on here. But anyways, guys, watch out for Randall Wees if you are posting under KMed at Tired. Who's Randall Weems? But anyway, that's pretty much the the crux of Andy Woke. Andy Woke's retardation as he tries to pretend that he's not a gay man. Married. A gay man married and hiding from his own sexuality. Andy lore? I may have to look for him. There was a guy that I met in Andy Pants's chats that was just like absolutely retarded. I saw someone else arguing with him earlier, but he was he just brought up all of this other really retarded stuff about masculinity and how it was how objective it was, and I had to read this red string theory thing to understand. All in all, Andy Pants again a failure in his life. So we're going to leave it there. I'm going to go to bed. Old man needs some sleep. But if Vincent's still doing his stream tomorrow, I'll be on there talking about some of the anti-wokers. And I may do Monday too, because, you know, it's Memorial Day. I got that Monday off. So I may do a stream on Monday too, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. See if we can find up some other stuff. War sleep. I'm going to get some war sleep. I'm going to go put on a good horror slop and go to sleep. All right, guys, y'all have a good night, and I will see y'all next time.